You're watching Force13's live streaming service.
We're live once again, as we were last night, this time still with the same storm. Storm Éowyn nearing the UK and Ireland, much closer now. You can see a lot of convection already over Ireland right now. The winds will be arriving in Ireland as well later tonight. I've got a few people in the call with me to help me with this stream today. And they'll be relaying with me all the info for warnings and what to do and how the storm is going to play out. So currently in this call with me, I have a black screen. Sorry about that. There we go. I now have, I've got TMC, I've got David, I've got Logan, and I have Christian. Hello to you guys.
Good evening.
There they are. So, I'm going to head on over to TMC screen here, because they have something up here, it looks like.
I have the Met Iran warnings on my screen, which, as you can see, it's pretty much it's a solid status red across the board for everywhere in Ireland right now.
Yeah, and again, and that's changed from last night as well. Last night it didn't look too different from that. It's just that the whole of Ireland was under status red. The whole of Northern Ireland was under orange. Obviously now that has changed with the Met Office red warning for the whole of Northern Ireland as well. That is also updated on this map as well. So everything is red.
Which we did hypothesize.
Yes, we did.
We were saying that it could be a red. And it's interesting now that we've got the info. I think that's 3 capital cities in red. We've got Dublin, Belfast, and Edinburgh, all in red warnings there. And there's even some warnings for snow up in northern Scotland. Go on, Christian.
Let me just double check that Edinburgh's in the warning.
Edinburgh is.
Let me just double check. Oh, it is.
I have the Met Office.
Not to mention Glasgow is as well. That's not a capital city, but it is still a major city that's under red.
Yes. So, the whole of Ireland and Northern Ireland in red completely, which I don't think I've ever seen in my life. I don't know about you guys.
No, I haven't seen this
to
either.
my knowledge, the first red warning for wind ever issued in Northern Ireland. I may be wrong on that. But I personally can't recall a time ever seeing a red warning for wind in Northern Ireland in my lifetime.
So there we are. And that red warning lasts from 7 AM GMT tomorrow until 2 PM GMT also tomorrow. And I'm going to see if I can find a way on how I can read out all the areas. Here we are. So, the affected locations in a red warning is County Antrim.
County.
Yes, County Armagh. Sorry if I pronounce any of these incorrectly. ARMAGH.
Would you like me to pronounce them?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Yes, please.
So, yeah, sure. The regions and local authorities affected by the red warning in Northern Ireland are basically, it's all of Northern Ireland, but specifically County Antrim, County Armagh, County Down, County Fermanagh, County Londonderry, and County Tyrone.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you very much.
And we've also got over in Scotland, I know Michael's here, and Michael's just joined the call as well, and I know Michael will definitely want to go over all this stuff. If he's ready. Are you there, Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. Just to say how's everyone doing?
They're all good.
And
Michael,
you can see the business is real because I've got the glasses on.
Yes. So how did your video update earlier today? What was the status on that? And has anything changed since then, up until now?
Not much has changed at the moment. The warnings remain the same. So obviously we've got the Met Office red warnings in effect for tomorrow. Much of Ireland is currently under a red warning, as is the local. I think it's Met Éowyn. Is that correct?
Yeah, Met Éowyn.
The Mid-Iran.
Yeah.
Iran.
They're the basically the Met Office of the Republic of Ireland. So they have also issued red warnings for the storm as well. So we got a red warning in effect for the entirety of Northern Ireland, as well as into the southern and border regions of Scotland, also encompassing Edinburgh and Glasgow in that warning, and just to the south of Stirling. So obviously with a red warning, that does mean danger to life when it in regards to that.
And again, I just want to reiterate with the red warning as well. That goes all the way from what am I looking here? I'm going to probably horribly mispronounce this, but Loch Gilfed all the way onto Montrose and Dunbar on the, or not actually disregard Montrose, but yeah, all the way east to Dunbar. So that's basically east to west of the entire country of Scotland.
Yep.
But as far north as Stirling, and as far south as I'm gonna horribly mispronounce this again. Stranraer, I believe.
Stranraer, I believe.
Stranraer. But yes,
Yeah.
that does encompass Glasgow and Edinburgh as well,
Scotland.
as well as Belfast and Dublin. Those are all in red warnings.
Yes, and the whole of the British Isles is in a warning of any sort, depending on where you are right now. Southern England is in a yellow wind and rain warning, and the very northern part of Wales is in amber, and not marked by the Met Office, but specifically by what I'm going off of from what we saw last night and what I saw in the models not too long ago, is that Anglesey and the Isle of Man, they look like they probably take a big hit from this storm, because it does. Obviously, once the storm's winds get back out from land without friction, they're going to they start to intensify, and that's probably going to be another area where I think that there'll be very strong gusts on the coast.
And also going off of the marine forecast, I'm just going to send this to the output so that Jack or Christian can get this on stream for you guys. There is most of the areas around the UK with the shipping forecast and gale warnings. Most areas to the north of Ireland and also to the west of Scotland, most of these areas are expecting gale force winds, and possibly even into gale force 12, which is hurricane force winds, are expected across much of the area north of Ireland, in the Malin, Rockfall, Bailey, and the Hebrides sections of the marine forecasts. All are expected to be somewhere near gale force 10 to 12, and obviously it also extends down to the coasts of the Bay of Biscay, and also the Fitzroy Quadrant, just off the coast of Spain and Portugal. Although a bit further down there, it's only going to be around about force 10 gales. Although it's not just only till force 10 gales, it is still going to be very significant for the entire area for shipping. I'm gonna
chip in here because we've spoken about all the red warnings and some of the amber warnings, but we haven't read out all the locations from all the amber warnings down to yellow. So I'm going to read all of them out, and while I do that, I'd like someone to keep track of all the questions in chat if you want, Michael.
I'm on that. I'm just monitoring as well.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So yeah, if you guys watching have any questions, then please do send them in. And yeah, feel free, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you guys might have.
So I
And again, I would also
really
like to,
massive text
I would also like to just say again, please report in with what the conditions are like for your local area as well,
if they've changed. Yeah.
Obviously,
because that would be quite a useful insight to what the local conditions are like.
Obviously, though, guys,
There's
don't
one in the chat. Ducky62 TMS says, despite it not being shown on this map, that Douglas on the Isle of Man is
Yeah.
also in a red warning.
Also,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a little image that was actually made for us by one of our own team up on screen share. If you'd
yeah.
like to take a look at that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the Met Office warnings cover the Isle of Man, do they?
No, they only cover the British Isles. Great Britain, I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, because
But
the Isle of Man's
what's
autonomous
on
as well,
Christian's
isn't it? It's its
screen.
own government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's on Christian's screen right now. I think that was made by Nick, that thing. But you can see that pretty much the whole of the West looking like they're going to take a hit. The Northwest. And to branch off of that, I'd like to read out all of these locations in an amber warning right now. So these locations are all in an amber warning for wind. There's a lot, so I apologise in advance because this is going to be a massive text wall. But here we are. Aberdeenshire, Angus, Argyll and Bute, Blackburn with Down, County Fermanagh, County Londonderry, County Tyrone, Cumbria, Darlington, Denbighshire, Derbyshire, Dumfries and Galloway, Dundee, Durham, East Ayrshire, East Dunbartonshire, East Lothian, East Renfrewshire, Edinburgh, Falkirk, Fife, Flintshire, Gateshead, Glasgow, Greater Manchester, Gwynedd, Hartlepool, Highland, Inverclyde, Isle of Anglesey, Lancashire, Merseyside, Middlesbrough, Midlothian Council, Newcastle upon Tyne, North Ayrshire, North Lanarkshire, North Tyneside, North Yorkshire, Northumberland, Perth and Kinross, Redcar and Cleveland, Renfrewshire, Scottish Borders, South Ayrshire, South Lanarkshire, South Tyneside, South Yorkshire, Stirling, Stockton-on-Tees, Sunderland, West Dunbartonshire, West Lothian, West Yorkshire, and there we are. Aberdeen,
Yeah, and
Aberdeenshire,
just,
Angus, Argyll and Bute, Highland, Moray, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I think it's Nahiland.
No worries.
Nahilandshire. I apologise if I'm pronouncing any of these horribly, because I'm sure I'm butchering some of these. But here we are. Orkney Islands, perfect.
Just to add as well, Jack.
Go on, Michael.
Those warnings are in effect from 0600 to 2100 tomorrow.
Yeah. I would also like to go on to the yellow warnings here. So places under a yellow warning, there is even more. Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire, Angus, Argyll and Bute, Bath and North East Somerset, Blackburn with Darwen, Blackpool, Blaenau, Gwent, Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, Bridgend, Brighton and Hove, Bristol, Carefully, Cardiff, Carmarthenshire, Ceredigion, Cheshire East, Cheshire West and Chester, Clackmannanshire, Conway, Cornwall, County Antrim, County Armagh, County Down, County Fermanagh, County Londonderry, County Tyrone, Cumbria, Darlington, Denbighshire, Derby, Derbyshire, Devon, Dorset, Dumfries and Galloway, Dundee, Durham, East Ayrshire, East Dunbartonshire, East Lothian, East Renfrewshire, East Riding of Yorkshire, East Sussex, Edinburgh, Falkirk, Fife, Flintshire, Gateshead, Glasgow, Gloucestershire, Greater Manchester, Gwynedd, Holton, Hampshire, Hartlepool, Hertfordshire, Highland, Inverclyde, Isle of Anglesey, Isle of Wight, Isles of Scilly, Kent, Kingston upon Hull, Lancashire. There is a lot. It's pretty much the whole rest of the UK.
Vast majority of the UK.
Literally.
Pretty much, yeah, the whole UK.
And then there are some for snow and rain. Well, there's a lot less, so I can read them out without.
What
No,
about
very much
hail?
confined. No hail's expected as far as I can see on the forecasts. So it's too warm for hail to develop because obviously it's bringing in the blast of Atlantic air, so
Yep.
this
which is
yellow
actually
warning
quite
for
warm
rain,
and quite moist.
There's only 25.
And then I just want to
areas for
also,
this yellow
I just
warning.
also want to bring attention to what you're seeing on your screen right now. This is the, I believe, the latest KNMI chart showing Éowyn at 955.
Yes,
I'm not exactly sure what the latest pressure readings are. I've heard it's a little bit lower than that, but I can't give you an exact value.
I'll
but that's
give it a look in a moment.
again, this is the latest KNMI chart. I'm not sure when this came out. It should say down here 18 UTC, so that was about 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be too far off then.
Okay, so the areas currently in a yellow rain warning is Blaenau, Gwent, Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, Bridgend, Caerphilly, Cardiff, Carmarthenshire, Ceredigion, Conway, Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, Gwynedd, Herefordshire, Merthyr Tydfil, Monmouthshire, Neath, Port Talbot, Newport, North Somerset, Pembrokeshire, Plymouth, Powys, Rhondda-Cynon-Taf, Shropshire, Somerset, Swansea, Torbay, Turfion, Vale of Glamorgan. And then the last thing that I want to read out is tomorrow's snow warnings. There's only a few places in the very north of Scotland, I think, or the very near north of Scotland, Aberdeenshire, Angus, Argyll and Bute, Highland, Moray, Perth and Kinross and Stirling. That's a yellow snow warning. So if anyone else wants to go back, Michael, did you see anything in the chat while I was reading anything? Anyone else?
The only thing that I could see here was Chris Conroy saying any tornado warning, which I don't believe there is. However, there was some tornadic development earlier today down in the Newquay area in Cornwall, which I did see on the news this evening, because there has been some footage actually sent in to ITV News showing that happening earlier on today. But as far as I can see, obviously, with it being stormy, wind's going to come part and parcel with it.
I can tell you now that I do know that there is tornado warnings actually.
Yeah.
It's I can read them out if you want, because I've just found this one image. It's not very well explained, but basically there is an area, hang on, I need to, right, if someone else could talk while I'm quickly just trying to sort this out, because I don't know where this is. I need to
as for
read
the
out all
tornadic
places.
development tonight, I do believe there is the potential for tornadic development across the UK, but I believe it is in only a few areas. I don't believe the whole UK is under the gun for any significant
There we
tornado activity, and even then, it's not like we're expecting large and dangerous tornadoes here. These are small compared to what you might be familiar with if you've watched coverage of outbreaks in the States.
And especially
here,
I believe
on the
it.
main channel as well.
ESFA, which is European Storm Forecast Experiment. Currently, the threat level is 2 in some areas of, I think that's just England and parts of south, parts of the very south-east of Ireland. That's from today, earlier today, so it is currently valid now. from 6 a.m. this morning until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I'm not sure how to explain this because there's no like list of locations, I don't think, here. Is there a list of locations? I don't think so. If I could quickly come down here. Well, I don't think there's a list of locations, but I can go over what it says just below in just a moment. But I can definitely say that they've put a threat level 2 for literally the whole of the southern England, but that's like the really south part of England. So starting up there, where around where I think Bristol is, covering the whole of that area south of that until just around Lizard. Lizard is where it goes down to a 1. But that threat level 2 for tornadoes is engulfing London, Hertfordshire, Hampshire, Kent, the whole of Devon, Dorset, Somerset, Wiltshire, all of Sussex, some of Essex, Kent, if I hadn't said that already. But yeah, it's really hard to read from. I have to zoom in and I still can't read the best, so I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna zoom out here so I can read what they've put here. I'm gonna scan for areas that would probably be beneficial to read, or the most beneficial to read. So discussion is southern UK. An active cold front passage is forecast during the daytime hours, placed beneath the left exit of an intense mid-upper jet. Oh, what the accompanied upper trough is filled with IPV rich air, so combined with strong QG lift, we expect modest instability build up in an extreme shear environment. Forecast hodographs are rather straight, but offer abundant low-level shear with lots of low-level streamwise vorticity, so rotating updrafts are possible, including a risk of a few tornadoes and severe gusts. Given rapid translation of thunderstorms, or any tornado could be long-tracked, and even a strong event cannot be ruled out. The main tornado risk seems to evolve along and south of a Bristol-London line, where the highest low-level moisture resides in a low LCL environment. Limited low-level cape could confine the overall risk more to the coastal areas. So basically, it's just talking in a bit of a scary way about how tornadoes would happen, but I wouldn't expect too many tornadoes, if any, from this system. So I wouldn't be too worried about the tornadoes, but it's always it is always a point, I guess. Michael?
If you'd like to go to my stream, Jack.
Yeah, sure.
I've just got the latest satellite imagery of Storm Éowyn.
Yeah, there it is.
So this is the Severe Storms RGB product from RAM for the live satellite imagery. So as you can see, in the last few frames, probably within the last few hours, you can see that the rain bands have started moving across Ireland for the outer rain bands. The core of the storm is still a fair few miles away, but you can see that the storm is moving at pace, even in just a couple of hours. So it will be here within the next 3 to 4 hours' time. Already starting to feel some of the effects in Ireland, as well as probably further north in towards Scotland. You've just got the first of the rain bands arriving. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty significant storm, probably through the night and into the tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the red warnings in effect for the vast majority of tomorrow. So obviously, if you are in a red warning area, then please do take this system seriously. There has been, in regards to travel, and basically, yeah, in regards to travel, with railway companies, they have advised that areas around Scotland and the Scottish borders to not travel tomorrow, and I do believe they have acceptance in place for a couple of days' time. If you do have tickets for tomorrow, I'll get back to you and confirm on that. But a lot of the time, the train operators are pretty good. If there's going to be severe disruption, then they will allow their customers to use trains on other days, but with the tickets valid for tomorrow. So, but well, obviously, if you are planning on travelling tomorrow, do stay safe. And also just making careful and applying common sense, so to speak. So yes, it certainly is a harrowing system, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at what Christian wanted to see earlier. I apologise for the late response, Christian. But Éowyn is currently boasting a 948 minimum central pressure there, with extremely narrow isobars to the south. Like, very narrow. They are very close to each other, them isobars.
And how close exactly? Yes. Is it the same as like we were discussing last night, like 2 millibars within like 150 meters or something, like that kind of narrow, or
just a bit more than that.
So let's say at 200 at maximum. So that's one isobar every 100 meters. Wow. Which yeah, very narrow.
And it has just updated 948 scale. But yeah, it's getting much closer. This storm last night, it was only just coming off the coast of the United States and Canada, so it's
being whisked by the jet stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the jet stream is very potent. Like the jet stream is very potent right now. Like, I'm sure a few aviation folks out there heard that some aircraft traveling towards Europe from the States issued like a new ground speed record that was just shy of sound barrier. That's how strong the jet stream is right now. It's like 200 miles an hour winds, which can carry planes quite far.
Like the jet stream, what it does in these sort of situations is it intensifies these storms and deepens them by like with the I don't know if anyone's familiar with. I'm probably sounding really nerdy here, but the feral cell and the polar cell to either side of where these extratropical storms are that come to the UK. Well, with the jet stream, they contribute to intensifying it as it gets nearer to the UK. I'm pretty sure, and that's what's happened with Éowyn. And the very far outer rain bands, if I go ahead and switch over to the
it's just coming up to 21:30 UTC. Just reminding you guys are watching ForceThirteenUK live. And if you guys also say have any other questions for us, please do send them into the comments section.
And Michael or Christian, who are monitoring it, will read them out as soon as possible. There are some areas in the very southwest of Ireland, very small scattered areas that are getting at least 16 millimeters of rain per hour at the moment from this massive rain band that is moving its way in. And there's a lot of rain in that. That's pretty much the whole of Ireland completely swallowed up by that rain band. I'm not sure if anyone in the chat wants to chip in on how their rain is right now, if they're anywhere in Ireland, or how their conditions are anywhere wherever they are, because I know in Cornwall there are also some nasty rainy conditions right now.
I'm looking at the
There we are.
observations, or the weather observations in Ireland, and it seems like the highest recorded gust so far in Ireland was at Valentia Observatory with a gust of 93 kilometers per hour.
Oof.
Damn.
And that's up to this point as well. That is just, yeah.
Let me just convert that into miles. So did you say 93?
93 kilometers per hour, yes. That's
All right, let me
50
just pull
knots.
this up. So okay, so about 60 miles per hour.
So already up to 60 miles per hour, and
Yeah.
Valentia Observatory is right at the. It's
And
at
yeah,
the
about 50 knots. So yeah.
southwestern tip of Ireland, just north of the southwestern tip of Ireland, near the town of Waterville, and I can't actually name that. See the label underneath that, but that is where the highest recorded gusts in Ireland have been so far.
Along with that, what me and Christian were talking about last night, and I also have another thing to say about that sting jet that this storm will bring along, that I was talking to Nathan about. Well, it looks like it's going to be worse than what we expected, this sting jet. But additionally, for where this storm centre is going to go, it doesn't look like it's actually going to make any landfalls in Ireland. Its first landfall, actually, would most likely be in the very north of Scotland.
Yeah. So when I
So
chime in
it's
here, we've got a
completely-
comment
Yeah, it would
saying
be
all
Stornoway area is
Yeah.
where
I will.
it would actually make.
again. Just want to chime in. We've got a comment saying all schools and postal services closed for Friday.
Yeah, that's the
Friday.
same in
Yeah.
Northern Ireland. The Education Authority here in Northern Ireland has ordered all schools to be closed, and I believe flights from both Belfast City and Belfast International Airport are being cancelled. Obviously, if you are travelling in this storm, do exercise extreme caution if you are in a red warning area. Exercise extreme caution if you're in any warning area. But check
Yeah.
with your airport if you are planning on flying tomorrow, because you may not be flying tomorrow, or you may be in for one heck of a bumpy ride.
I'm also just looking at this video that the Met Office have of Éowyn's pressure that just completely rapidly. It's just amazing how those ISO bars have just completely the storm's basically just deepened. In layman's terms, the storm's deepening in a very compact area. For it to do that, that's gonna bring a stronger sting jet than what me and Nathan were talking about yesterday.
Right.
Evan, is that for the satellite imagery? Anyone have a link to this website here?
Right.
Yeah, I do. I can post it in live discussion.
I do have something that I want.
Right. So this image
There's
was
the
sent
link.
in from from David here. This
Yeah.
apparently is Dublin Harbour.
Dublin Harbour, there we are. Well, obviously it's quite rainy.
It's a live
isn't it?
view.
Yeah.
I have tried to send it to the chat, but unfortunately the URL is very long. But if you go onto the RAM, if you just search on Google RAM satellite, and then
That's
you'll
what
come up
RAM-
on the RAM slider Sierra
I've got it.
colstate.hg.
I've got it. The link's been sent in live discussion, so yep, it should be up on stream now as well. So once again, you're gonna have to. How is this? Oh, here we go. It's just slow.
Looking at your screen.
I'm not-
Don't worry.
All right. Oh, here we go. Just give
I'm
it time
currently
to load.
I'm currently sharing the satellite imagery as well. I've got it loaded.
All right.
You can hop on over to your screen in a moment. I was just on your screen for a while, and we're now looking at Christian's screen. But yeah, there you are. That's that would be some. Is that geocolour?
I Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm sure Tom can...
This is this geo color.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be geo color
well,
of Storm. Storm Iowyn. That's the storm we're currently covering. If you didn't know, it's right there. That's the satellite imagery. That's going to be this. I think like the average around the whole of the UK tonight at 1Z will be 8 octas of cloud cover, which is basically just the whole sky completely covered.
Yeah, I mean, the entirety of Ireland is pretty much covered, and then it's pretty much going to cover the whole of the UK.
Looking at that imagery, sorry, go ahead.
Someone put in God I Trust is the username. Will Southport get hit, please, guys? So Southport is currently under a yellow warning for wind from midnight tonight through until 2359 tomorrow, so all day tomorrow. And then also on Sunday, there is also another yellow warning of wind in effect between 0800 and 1500 Greenwich Mean Time. That's for the second system behind Storm Éowyn. There is also an amber warning in effect for Southport from 0600 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow until 2100. So power cuts are likely to occur with the potential to affect other services such as mobile phone coverage. Injuries and danger to life could occur from flying debris, as well as large waves and beach material being thrown onto seafronts, coastal roads and properties. Road and rail and ferry services are likely to be affected, with long journey times, cancellations possible. Some roads and bridges will close, and there is a chance that damage to buildings and homes could occur, with roofs blown off and power lines brought down. So Southport currently isn't under a red warning. However, as I say, do exercise common caution if you are planning on going out. The forecast as it stands tomorrow is that Southport could be looking at gusts of 64 miles per hour, peaking at around about 1100 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow.
There we are. This storm is going to be the big one for many areas here. Nathan was saying yesterday that do not take anything for granted, basically. Because Nathan was pretty much saying that he hadn't seen something like this for a while. So this is probably going to be, as we figure already, one of the worst storms for us over here in the British Isles in Ireland.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the Met warnings, it really doesn't get any worse.
So that's
that's
the animated image. Is that a port?
This is Dublin Harbour. This is Dublin Harbour.
Patty has also asked about what can Glasgow expect? Will it be as bad as they say? Well, Glasgow is in the red warning area for the wind, which commences at 1000 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow and ends at 1700 Greenwich Mean Time. So with the red warning, very strong winds associated with Storm Éowyn, causing very dangerous conditions and significant disruption on Friday. Flying debris resulting in danger to life, very dangerous driving conditions with fallen trees on the roads, damage to buildings and homes with roofs being blown off and power lines brought down. Roads, bridges and railway lines will be closed with delays, cancellations to bus, train and ferry services and flight. Cuts affecting other services such as mobile phone coverage, broadband, and also large waves and beach material expected to be thrown onto coastal roads, seafronts. So obviously, so the yellow warning in Glasgow will start at midnight tonight and will be in effect through all day Friday. The amber warning will come into effect at 0600 Greenwich Mean Time and will end at 2100, with the red warning, threat to life, being starting at 1000 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow and will conclude at 1700 Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one thing to remark on. Anywhere that's in the red warning, that's what the Met Office and Met Éowyn classify as a threat to life. Now, does anyone here have anything up for... actually, would we need to put anything up from KM&I? I don't think we would actually, never mind.
And also Glasgow with Patty, you can expect winds gusting to around about 76 to 77 miles per hour tomorrow. So if you can, please do stay inside.
Yes.
Jack, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, David. You haven't spoken for most of the stream. I know everyone's been talking, so you can say whatever you want now. You have the
I
microphone.
appreciate it. The second stream, but looking at the warning areas and the classification of the warnings or the warning systems, you've got amber and you've got red. Could we see some of those amber areas being upgraded to red? So my question is, could we see the red warning areas being expanded on Friday?
That isn't entirely out of the question.
Yeah, it's not
It
entirely
is.
out
It
of
is
the question. It
possible.
could happen.
It
But
is possible, yeah.
Very unlikely that they'll change it in this much advance. But it is still possible that they could do that. They might actually do that.
Unless something
So that-
changes, it's you're looking at the warnings that we're probably going to see throughout the whole event.
I do want to mention something. The warnings. I just feel like even if you're not in like the red warning, you should still pay attention to the storm, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
even places in France could get up to like high winds, and I know that, and I think, oh man, the Gulf, where the Isle of Man is, the Irish Sea, I think it could be a really
It'll be a strong hit for
a wind tunnel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wind tunnel. That is a good.
Yeah, and that will have a knock-on effect
Yes.
of the Irish and British coasts on the Irish Sea. It could see a lot of wind effect there.
And also, if you're looking at my screen, I'm looking at pressure. It's expected to deepen down to like around 937 millibars before it impacts Scotland and the inner seas.
Yeah.
So I would be wary of that. Of course, prepare for strong winds. Prepare for anything. Be sure you're ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're saying that it was expected to go down to, what did you say, 940s? Sorry. I'm having a look. 930. Yeah, because I'm having a look at the pressure area expected for my area tomorrow. Bear in mind, I'm in the south of England in the yellow warning. According to my forecast, I'm going down about 6 a.m., about 10 to 7 tomorrow morning. The pressure in my area is expected to go down to 992. So that's quite a gradient across from like quite a gradient from like across where this system's expected to make landfall in Scotland, for example, and then down in my area as well. So you've got like 9,000 basically down by the south of England.
Well, that's what it is.
You know,
Those thin, narrow isobars that are closer to the centre of the storm, but more on the south, getting trapped within one of those thin isobars that are, well, you will like they're everywhere. Them narrow isobars when this storm arrives, and for that reason, if you are on the coast, then you could expect a lot of rough seas. Because that's what causes rough seas. Very vast changes in pressure over very narrow areas. The narrower, the rougher the seas for the isobars. That's what Nathan was also warning last night. And the
I just
point
got
still remains.
question.
Go ahead, Logan.
So, like around 2 questions. What are the chances of major flooding in Ireland and Britain.
That's a good point. We haven't gone over the rainfall yet too much. But for people who have just joined us, because I know we've got a lot of people who want to join us, I did read out the rain warnings earlier. I can quickly go back to these rain warnings. So, for Friday there is a yellow rain warning for these areas. Blaenau, Gwent, Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, Bridgend, Carefully, Cardiff, Carmarthenshire, Ceredigion, Conway, Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, Gwynedd, Herefordshire, Merthyr Tydfil, Monmouthshire, Neath, Port Talbot, Newport, North Somerset, Pembrokeshire, Plymouth, Powys, Rhondda, Cynon Taf, Shropshire, Somerset, Swansea, Torbay, Turfion and Vale of Glamorgan, and that's the Met Office's yellow warnings for wind. And I know Met Éowyn in Ireland will have their own set of warnings for rain, but one important thing to know that on the screen right there, on Christian's screen, the graphic that Nick made, the whole of Ireland is in a red warning, and the Isle of Man. That's the one that's pretty much the headline. The fact that the whole island of Ireland is in a red warning. So if you are anywhere in those areas or that area there, then you should probably expect a fair amount of rain, because there's already enough rain there. And that red warning isn't for the rain though, I must mention. It's mainly for the wind as well.
Wind.
Obviously. But if
Yes, this is a very wind-driven system.
Yeah, it is, yeah. That's with all the ISO lines. Oh, sorry. It's taking a while to load while I'm trying to get this rain forecast. Here we are. So, the rain stays around fairly heavy in some areas. Around moderate to heavy, I'd say around that's around 5mm an hour for the most of Ireland there, and that moves over from now, also including Northern Ireland, and the rain sort of leaves at around 4 a.m, but then you get even more rain coming in just in the northern coast from the storm's centre. And then while that's happening, the rain will move on to Great Britain, and the whole of Great Britain will just get around the same amount of rain as well. It's not the most amount of rain. There is a chance of flooding, but it's not the highest chance like with storms we've seen in the past, where like entire towns have been out of use almost due to flooding. Doesn't look like the flooding is going to be the worst part. It's going to be the wind, which means you've got to look out for debris. I know David was going to say something earlier, and Christian, and I interrupted them. I apologise. If you guys want to say anything, Christian or David?
No, I got nothing at the moment.
You got nothing?
David?
Is David's on mute, I think. I don't think David's there. And I don't think Michael is here anymore either. He is also on mute. But yeah, Christian, if you want to look in chat, because there is a lot of people in the chat at the minute, and they must be asking all sorts of questions. Yeah. Don't you worry, guys. We will try our best to get to your questions and comments as fast as possible, as we're covering until the end of the hour at 10 p.m. as Storm Éowyn nears the UK and Ireland. Go on, Christian, if there's anything.
I tell you what, here's a really interesting comment from Liam Cairns, I believe. How much economic damage would all of this be? And again, that's pretty hard to say.
Yeah, that is hard to say. But
that would be hard to predict.
That's a very interesting comment. We cannot really calculate that in any way possible, really. But what we can do is look at analogues in the past and see what they've done, because that's the only way we can do that. But there's no saying for what Éowyn will do. But I know the costliest storm that the UK has ever had was back in the costliest name storm that Met Office and Met Éowyn have had was back in 2022 February with Storm Eunice. That storm caused just a bit over $1 billion US dollars in damages, which is, I think that's around £1 billion, just less than £1 billion.
It's about 800 million, I had to guess. I'm not 100% sure on that figure though.
Yeah, it's
and
over
again,
$1
I just,
billion.
I mean, I myself, I remember Eunice.
Yeah.
I remember Eunice. It wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This storm. If Nathan said that it's going to be the worst one he's seen in a while, I'm not surprised, because that's what the situation looks like. It's happening. This storm looks like it's going to be bad. And keep in mind, it will be bad, especially for areas in red and pretty much amber. But even if you are just in a yellow warning, that doesn't mean it's going to be a bit of a blow-off, because...
No, and I do want to mention the entire country of the United Kingdom is at least under at least a yellow warning, at minimum.
Yes, the entire of the British Isles, all in a yellow warning at minimum, via the Met
Yes, that's
Office
what I
or
just
Met
said.
Éowyn. Yeah. So that's one thing to take note of. And for anyone in the chat, if you want to update us on what your current conditions are, send a comment through, and Christian, I believe, who's reading the chat right now, he'll get to that.
I am sifting through. Yep. So here again, another one's coming through. What storm is coming on Sunday and Monday for the Somerset area?
Oh, is that?
I mean, we haven't actually looked that far ahead.
I don't know if that's like that is very far ahead, yeah, but, and it's not just for those areas, but yeah, I do know what one you are talking about. That one looks like it's going to cause more rain than wind, but I'm not too sure. That is quite far out in the forecast. It's very true.
And it's going to be
Still something that warrants.
Trees are already down in County Kerry.
Trees already down in where?
No, County Kerry.
County Kerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm not
was
surprised,
that.
actually, yeah.
That seems about right.
Because
Someone with a channel name of Will Floggit says that HPA or pressure is down to 985. I'm not exactly sure where they are, but that's a little report coming there. Just starting to rain in Dublin.
Yeah.
Again, Dublin Bay that I've got on webcam as well. You can definitely see it starting to rain here, even though this imagery is about 10 minutes old. So here is that. What else? What else are we doing? Starting to blow in Cork Harbour.
There's the storm.
Someone calling their neighbours idiots as their cats are outside. Yeah, bring your pets indoors. Absolutely.
Bring your pets indoors.
Absolutely.
Yes. That is
Absolutely, bring your pets indoors. It's not good that they've left their cats outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any pets, bunnies, any pets.
Bunnies, cats, guinea pigs, anything. Bring them
Must be
indoors.
kept safe. Even if they're not indoors and in like a garage or something, make sure they are in a covered place, because ahead of this storm tonight, by tonight, because this storm is hitting fast. It's not going to be until like early morning. This storm is already like pretty much like its outer rain bands are pretty much covering Ireland already. So it's
starting to have
approaching
serious
very
impact
closely.
in Southern Ireland at this
Yeah.
Already, like trees down in Kerry, as someone said back there. Anyone else?
Yep, just raining for now in County Kilkenny. Bit of wind with it. Yep. Just raining.
point. Yeah, the outer bands of the Ree getting to push up the northern parts of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Donegal and areas like that. So I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing rain falling in my area within the next 20 minutes to half an hour, and then the winds are just going to
Another
slowly
thing is,
pick up across the.
Yeah.
If anyone you know
Again,
or
heavy-
you are in a boat tonight, I wouldn't advise being in any boat at sea because I'm pretty sure every single marine warning is red alert. Every single one. I think Christian shared something earlier where every single marine warning was in a red alert. And if you're interested,
that was Tom, I believe. Actually,
Sorry.
that was Tom with the marine warnings.
Yeah, I have the marine warnings up from.
Did you want?
Met
Can you
Aaron.
show them on stream now?
Yeah, I have them up here.
Okay, I'll head on over quickly.
They're
the
Receiving data.
Go ahead then. Try
Oh.
again.
Nope.
Have another go.
Oh no, we're back.
Out.
I think we're back. Good, we're back. All right, don't know what happened there.
Sure
yeah.
either.
So the marine warnings that Met Aaron have in place for the seaborne is status yellow gale warning from Strangford Lock, which is here, just where that's basically where the border or that inlet there, all the way around to Roche's Point, the Bloody Foreland, and on the Irish Sea. They are predicting southeasterly winds veering southerly will reach. Oh, sorry, that's Thursday. Sorry, apologies for that.
Oh dear.
That's why I
Yes,
was
we're looking for Friday.
confused.
Sorry, I was.
Disregard the rest of that.
Marine warning. Yeah, disregard that. Yeah, they've got a basically status red for the entire ocean as well. It's southeasterly winds veering west to reach force 10 or force 11, reaching hurricane force 12 at times. Is basically what they're saying for storm warning from Mizzen Head to Ayres Head to Fairhead. Storm warning from Fairhead to Wicklow Head, and on the Irish Sea. You can see it on the map. The seaborne warning areas are all status red as well.
If you know, if anyone in the chat knows anyone who is at sea, or if you are at sea or near anywhere, well, in a boat, basically, anywhere in any marine area around the UK, you're probably, well, you're going to best want to tell them or yourself to get to land and get into a house. And I want to go back over to Christian's screen because he was showing an image, if anyone was wondering, well, a live image. If you can go back to the live image, but there you are.
I'll go back to. All right, okay. Give me just a moment to switch back.
While he's doing that, they're the warnings that are in place, provided by Metira and a Met Office. There we are. So that, if anyone's interested, where is that, Christian? Once again, go over that. We will have to be finishing up soon.
This is Dublin Bay.
There we are. So that's.
So as you can see, again. Well, it's live, but it's 10 minutes old. But yes. Speaking of time, we need to finish up fairly shortly here.
Yes. But we hope you guys have kept track of the stream enough to know what to do and the situation that is happening. If anyone has any more final comments, I'll allow some for 2 more minutes, that if Christian wants to read any out, while we give an outro, sort of. Well,
let's just put this a little bit of a humorous one to end off. Will people surf?
Will people surf? Well, I don't
will
expect
people surf?
people
I
to
mean,
surf 'cause we're
common
in
sense
Australia.
says no, but you never know.
It
with
would be
people
incredibly
these days.
unwise for
And
anyone to do that.
Absolutely, incredibly unwise.
Unless we've got any Australians out there who are really hardcore surfers.
Australia.
Very unlikely.
Yes, me.
Yes, there we are, David.
Yeah, but you're not surfing though, David, are you?
No, but anybody out on... I had 10 years in the Marine Rescue here, and anyone out the sea, you're really in finding trouble. The Coast Guard, I'll just check the Coast Guard UK, and they haven't got much info. But, Jack, before we go, can we have a quick look at the models?
The models, Christian, up actually, because you did have them yesterday. That's a good point.
once. We did have them yesterday. I haven't actually got them loaded up right now. Give me one moment
That's
to
alright.
get this all.
If anyone's
Running,
interested,
then.
this website is Tropical Tidbits that we are using for all the models. You can
Yes.
find all the
Yeah.
models here.
Is there?
So if you go, I think it's, what one was it again? Precip Moisture, and then that middle one, or Lower Dynamics, is it on? The one that, there we are.
And
Once again, I should clarify here, there is a model run in progress, so we don't have really all the latest imagery.
Oh, yes.
But we do have the ones
Clicking
closest
European
to.
might be easier.
So this is the GFS. I should clarify. This is I believe now.
System.
And then 6 hours out, and then 12 hours out is when we're expecting a 9:39 pass over to the not quite a landfall. This thing has shifted north as the previous
yes, it
runs.
is shifting northward.
Pretty sure I can pull up a previous run here, and we have the same thing. As you can see, 9:36. Again, going for another run before that, 9:36 again. So not much change on that front there.
Yeah, 9:36.
And
So that's 2
9:36 seems to be the consensus.
forecasted yesterday. So,
Yeah.
wow.
But
The storm has
then with
exceeded expectations.
with this latest run, it's 9:39 just to the north of Ireland here. And then if we would move on to a different model here, let's check Icon. They've basically got 9:47. I'm not quite sure if that's a landfall. It's very close. And again, comparing that to the previous run, 9:48. The latest run was 9:47.
Not much difference.
For that, not a lot of difference. 9:46. The run before that.
So there we are.
I can hardly.
There's something we have.
But this video is considering if I'm not sure what the tide is. Again, it could be. We can't rule it out. Anyways, so what else do we need? Let's check the Euro model here. These are 3 hourly. So again, these are slightly weaker. This is 941, 942 ish. Again, slightly to the north of Ireland. Not quite a landfall, although it is very close. And again, they're expecting 942. So we're expecting around high 930s, low 940s for this system. Again, this is about 12, 18 hours out. So once again, this basically tomorrow is the big day of where this storm is expected to strike. I mean, some impacts of some areas of Ireland are feeling impacts already.
Yeah, as early as now.
And as early as pretty much now, yeah. And again, I just want to bring attention to look at this. This thing here.
There you are.
That goes all the way down. That's from basically from Denmark to Morocco.
Yeah.
That's how big this thing is.
Is that the current system or the one coming up Monday?
This is the current system. The one coming up. I should actually touch on this. Yeah, a lot bigger. A lot bigger.
Giant.
Yeah, that's what it's.
So again, that's from roughly around Oslo. That's again Oslo to Lisbon is this storm's influence, but that's the system coming up on at the end of this weekend. The one we're focused on now is this really tight one here. This is Éowyn, and again we've got to wrap things up fairly shortly here. Again, let's switch to a different model. Let's try this one. What have these guys got? So again, this is a 6 hourly model. Again, 18 hours from now. So that's a 9:39 pass. I mean, just look at that. That is.
Yeah, that looks like a very close brush.
Very close brush. Yeah.
Look at all them winds over there in the west of Ireland there. That coast
look at this.
Ireland there.
That is. I'm not sure. I'm not
raked.
I'm not sure. I'm not. Well, I don't know if we can say that, but I'm not sure what unit this bar chart is over here on the right. I believe it's either knots or miles an hour. But yeah, that's over land.
It's not.
So again, that's over land there. So that's roughly around 60-ish knots over land.
So that would be
that's the absolute maximum. So it's about 50-60 knots there over land. But this is the CMC model. If we were to go back to the GFS, for example, yep, so they've got around about 40 knots over land, but then out to sea is looking like over 64 knots, which, you know, is hurricane force. And again, out into where the Isle of Man is as well, just about. Yeah, so it's not looking good for either of these systems. And again, I just want to double check it, even though this is a model run that's in progress right now, up to 102 hours out. This is the next system that's coming in.
Christian,
for Monday at least.
Stop you there just before you talk about that new system, because there is a lot of new people joining us in the chat right here. Currently, we are covering Windstorm Éowyn, named by Metiran. If you can go back to the warnings, Christian, that'd be great.
All right, give me just a moment here.
Thank you, Christian.
I have the warnings on my end if you'd like to come back to them.
Oh yeah, we can go.
Just a quick one.
Oh, there we are. We've got the
ones.
Go on then, David, quickly.
Electricity outages is a very strong possibility.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely sure of that.
Right, anyways, I'm going to keep going back to the chat now.
That. But that's the current warning. They are the current warnings in place. The whole of Ireland and Northern Ireland in red. Some areas of southern Scotland in red. And Isle of Man in red. The whole of northern England up to the north of Scotland in amber, and northern Wales also in amber, and the rest of the country in yellow.
Yeah.
This is not a drill. The storm has rapidly intensified. As was expected.
Rapidly deepened as well.
Oh yeah, deepened. Like we were expecting it, but it has gone even further than what we were expecting. Not by much, but still is a significant. It's still significant if you are anywhere where this storm's going to hit, because winds that could exceed 70 miles an hour. 60 miles an hour in some areas, like gusts, I must add. Even some gusts getting to 100 miles per hour in coastal areas. That's something to keep watch for, even no matter what warning you're in. The whole of the country and Ireland is in a warning of some description. On your screen right there, you can see the warnings, red being worst, then amber, then yellow, but that still doesn't change anything to the fact that you are in a warning. You need to take notice that you are in a warning and prepare. And Christian, what were you going to say anything? And I don't know if TMC and David wanted to say anything, or Logan, anyone?
Again, I'm just monitoring chat, finding messages that we can read up on stream here.
I'm trying to find information quickly about power cuts. I did see a report that there's a few power outages here in Northern Ireland. I'm attempting to find information for the Republic.
Hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to wrap things up fairly shortly here as well.
Keep watch of your local news outlets and be extremely prepared. It's going to be a major event for the entire British Isles.
Yeah, it's going to be an entire string of storms after this one as well, as we were looking at earlier. But that's Christian's model run there. GFS.
This is the GFS, I should mention as well.
Yep.
I have the, if you want to come to my screen, I have the power check up for the Republic of Ireland, and it does seem like there is starting to be some power outages.
There we are. So power outage is already beginning, and they will continue.
There is some in Northern Ireland, but these are just showing the ones in the Republic of Ireland, which is where they're going to be most of our problem at this time.
And again, I just saw a message here from the chat. I've just lost it now. Oh, here we go. Chris Conroy, barometer is reading 976 in the Midlands of Ireland. Again, I'm not sure. Does that line up? Or someone here telling porcupines? Although I believe it, but I just want to verify it.
What was that, Christian?
976 in the Midlands of Ireland right now.
976.
That would be the high part, wouldn't it, of the country?
I'm not sure. Tom, are you still there?
Depends on the altitude.
Yeah, I am 976.
Again, I'm not. I just want to verify this reading. I'm not 100% certain.
I can't exactly verify that, but from what I'm seeing from the other stations, that does appear that it would be an accurate reading at this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It would probably not be accurate because it depends on altitude, and if you're high enough, if you've got a high enough altitude, Midlands of Ireland, then there you are. Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, this data is now it's an hour old, so this is from 2100. The lowest pressure recorded at emissions in Ireland was 977 an hour ago, so that makes sense.
So that does make sense then. Oh right, gee, wow.
There's a few weather stations there, and they provide some outstanding information.
we will have to finish up now, though, guys. But for anyone in the chat who wants to stay updated on this system, you can follow your local news, or an easier way to do so is go ahead on to the subscribe to ForceThirteenUK if you want to get some more latest updates in future. Yeah, like our channel. But another thing for this storm in particular, if you want to track this storm and how it's going to go, hop on over to the Met Éowyn website, official website, and the Met Office website, and it will be able to provide you with all the warning information, all the warnings information in your area specifically. But for a wider note on forecasts, if you want to drop us a subscribe, we'll provide you with latest updates on any storm, and even live streams like now on any storms that head towards the UK, or any heat waves, anything weather related. We've got you here at ForceThirteenUK. Thank you everyone for joining me on this stream as we cover Storm Éowyn, and I'd like to say goodbye from me, and thank you to all the viewers with your questions. We'll be heading off now.
And stay tuned.
We'll basically be wrapping things up here. And we'll hope. And yeah, stay tuned to ForceThirteenUK. We may have a few updates left for the system. And well, we certainly can't rule out another live event.
Yeah, well, that's true. We might have some when that storm pushes out, but I know what I'll be doing tomorrow morning, first thing. I am just in a yellow warning for wind, but that's not something I'll be taking for granted. I'll definitely be waking up early in the morning, heading outside and filming my conditions, and if it's good enough,
sensibly.
I'll probably
Well, I'm in the red warning, so I'll be doing the same.
Yeah,
well, be safe, both of you.
So absolutely.
Be safe.
Of
Be
course.
safe.
Safely out in the conditions early tomorrow
As for
morning.
me, I'll be safely cooped up in the warmth.
Yeah. But anyone else who wants to do that, as Christian was saying, please be safe. And for anything that I record, if it's good enough, I'll put it as a short, maybe, or a full video on the UK channel, on this channel here. But we do have other channels, other regional channels here at Force 13. We've got the main channel, Force 13. We track tropical cyclones and everything on a whole worldwide scale and everything else. But we are running over time a little bit here, and our outro has lasted quite a while, so I'll be saying goodbye for a final time now as our stream ends. Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
Stay safe. Good night.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.